Hello, my name is Tylluan. I'm a solitary pagan witch. I'm an author and the founder of the Wolf and Howl Press. Today I'm going to talk to you about magic wands. Now, we have talked about tools before. The magic wand is the best known probably. You know, most people sort of associate it with witches, fairies, wizards, whoever. What does it do? Well, basically it concentrates whatever spell you cast. It concentrates the power that is within you and it directs it to a point. Wands are not normally powerful in themselves. I don't believe myself, from my own experience, that you get a wand and somehow there's marvellous inherent power in it. Your own wand will probably build up quite a few energies from you over time, but I don't believe it's going to somehow be powerful and run amok. This is not the Sorcerer's Apprentice with Disney that we're talking about. This is the real world. Now, when you think of directing power, my hands shake a lot. Mr. Penry's made me some beautiful wands over the years. And my hands tend to shake a lot these days. And so one of the problems I have is that if I point at something, it's liable to be a little bit hit and miss because my hands shake. And this is something you do have to bear in mind. If direction is important, well then sometimes you have to find a slightly different way to do the spell. But for most people, they will point without their hands wavering all over the place, and there's not a problem with choosing a wand. Where do you get them? Well, as I said, Mr. Penry made mine. You can make your own. You can buy a pointed crystal and somehow set it on the top. You can carve one from wood. You can use a piece of stick you think that feels quite nice. Sometimes, I think when you practice magic, you actually become more aware of the tactile properties of things. What they're like to touch, you know, how does it feel? Things feel differently. And I think with wands in particular, you do need to have one that feels right. It's got to feel, you know, somehow you've got to, this is it. I like a pretty sturdy wand, you know, I like something that's got a bit of welly to it. Some people like very nice dainty ones, each to their own. But you don't have to buy a wand. Now, for me, when I was younger, I think one of my most important wands was something like a paintbrush or a knitting needle, wooden spoon. And we have touched on this before. How do you use them? Well, supposing you're going to do a picture and you're going to incorporate the spell into the picture, into the image. Now, how could I give you an example of this? All right then. Supposing you want to do a spell to move house, and you paint a picture or draw a picture of the sort of place you would like to move to. And you need to focus your will, your intention on that painting. Now at the moment it's 2D, piece of paper. You're trying to focus on something which is 3D, something which will, Noah's having a drink, which will take you from one dimension, if you like, to the added one. So you have your paintbrush or your pen or pencil. And I think myself, I would incorporate some of the strokes, some of it. I mean, if you can do the lot, if you're very quick and you're doing a sketch, you can do the lot. I'm not so quick. So I would tend to just have a period where I do it and then sort of relax and get on with the picture and another period to finish off. And my way of fixing things like that is always to breathe on them. Literally just, you know, there's the paper and it's literally just... And think of it as breathing on it to make ink dry. Now back in the day where people used dip pens and fountain pens, breathing on ink to make it dry was actually quite important, especially if you didn't have any blotting paper. And the reason I never liked blotting paper was because it made the ink look faded. So I tended to prefer to try and make it dry naturally, but speed it up a bit. So it's that kind of breath. And that will do the trick. If you're using a knitting needle, well, you know, you have a point when you knit, when all your stitches are on one needle and you have a clear needle. Well, that is the time to use it as a wand, where you have your stitches here, like in this hand with the needle, holding all the stitches, and it's literally you take this one as your wand and you can tap some of the stitches and focus each time, or say what it is you want, you know. May this, oh, I don't know, what would you use a garment, say, for? Well, this can be a garment I wear when I get a new job, or what have you, or you know, just as I fix this stitch, so I fix my relationship with whoever. It can be all sorts of things. You could do it for a small baby, you know, maybe this baby be blessed with the gift of good health, blessed with the gift of love. May this baby always be may always be happy. It doesn't really matter. That's your choice. But what I'm saying is that's how you do it. You tap it, perhaps. If that's, I mean, you can use your breath again. I probably would. But if you don't want to use your breath every time, well, that's one good way to do it. And another way, when you're doing, perhaps if you're making something for a celebration, say, suppose you're making a cake, a special cake for someone's birthday, for a wedding maybe, an engagement. Well, you can mix your mixture with the spoon. Now the spoon can become your wand, and you can literally tap the bowl, because you need to do something to draw attention to the fact that this moment is the moment of magic. So tapping the knitting, tapping the bowl, tapping the mixture gently. You don't want it splashing everywhere. This is how I am going to make it. How can we put it? May this engagement, may these two people always love each other. May this happen, may that happen. May this birthday be the first of many happy solar returns. That's why we say many happy returns. We don't put the solar in, but that's what we mean. So these are things, and this is how you use it. And I mean, I'm always amazed when people write to me, and some of them are so inventive, so creative. And being creative is a part of being a witch. It really is. And I do hope these ideas are just a little taster, just a little thought for getting you on your way with it. And thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.